Kel, you've got the Australian.
I have got the National Broadsheet Daily, and the big splash headline on the front page says, "Bibi to PM, you are inviting terrorism." So it's the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, writing to our Prime Minister. The story says, quote, "The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has strongly criticised the Albanese government over its retreating support for Israel and promotion of Palestinian statehood at the United Nations." In comments provided exclusively to the Australian, the office of Mr Netanyahu said, quote, "The disappointing change in position at the United Nations would undoubtedly, quote, invite more terrorism and more anti-Semitic riots on Western campuses and city centres, including, they say, Australia." I find it really bizarre. I don't understand why Penny Wong and Anthony Albanese are taking the position they have. For a long time, it was a bipartisan position by all the major parties. We will support the State of Israel. It's the ancestral homeland of the Jewish people. It's a democratic nation in the Middle East. They are allies. Bob Hawke certainly took this line. And for some reason, Penny Wong and Anthony Albanese have taken the line of, no, 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 our traditional support for Israel is gone, and we're going to support the Palestinians. They don't seem to understand they're even out of step with the Palestinians. They keep talking about a two-state solution. The official Palestinian line is a one-state solution that runs from the Mediterranean Sea to the Jordan River with no Israel in between. So I cannot grasp what they think they're achieving, except perhaps propping up the votes of Muslim voters in some Australian electorates. Surely, Joe, they wouldn't be as callous.
Yeah, the two-state solution thing hasn't changed. That's exactly the same as it was under Bob Hawke, as it is under Anthony Albanese. I think the difference has been that they have been more forthright in advancing the case for the establishment and recognition of Palestine as a sovereign state. So back in the old days,
but don't you think
the whole thing was just in the too hard basket. So say, oh yes, we believe in a two-state solution. Okay, everybody, yeah, we're not taking sides.
There is no Palestine at the moment, so there's no workable two-state solution. What they're trying to do is to go ahead of the facts and pretend there is such a thing as a Palestinian state.
They're trying to fast-track that, and that's what this resolution is about, and that's what the previous resolution they supported was about. So they have become more assertive in pursuing the two-state solution. The objective itself hasn't changed.
No, not more assertive. They've actually changed their support from the two-state solution to pushing something which doesn't exist at the moment and is controlled by terrorists.
A two-state solution.
Yeah. Let's stay with the Australian, with the National Broadsheet, because it's such a good newspaper. Also on the front page, on the top right-hand side, there's a story about the salmon battle. The battle between different aspects of the Labor Party, the bits that Joe agrees with and the bits he doesn't agree with, over the salmon fishing. And the salmon fishing industry on the west coast of Tasmania is enormous. This story says Anthony Albanese has floated a radical solution to the Tasmanian salmon standoff, granting fish farms in Macquarie Harbour as national interest exemptions from federal environmental laws. The federal environmental laws that could interfere are those being proposed by Tanya Plibersek, which would say there is a fish called the Magean skate, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the Magean skate might actually become extinct because so much of the oxygen is being taken out of the water by these huge fish farms. And if 5,000 people lose their jobs, well, as long as the little skate survives, that's perfectly all right, according to Tanya Plibersek.